What is up, you guys? Namicon here, bringing you my perspective as to what entertainment is bringing us. And today we'll be talking about 5 centimeters per second, released on March 3rd, 2007. This film was raved in Japan for its pacing, presentation, and animation. The film stars Johnny Yong Bosch, Tara Platt, and Kira Buckland. The film is directed by Makoto Shinkai. The film's story is set in 3 parts. It's also one of the shortest films I've watched, going over just 63 minutes. So, so about an hour. 5 centimeters per second is set in Japan during the 1990s. The main character of the film is called Takagi Tono, who befriends someone from elementary school named Akari Shinohara. They frequently hung out, and when they started to go their separate ways, they fell in love and have agreed to write letters to each other. I feel that the story it was good. It was good enough, but I don't know if that was what Shinkai-san was prioritizing, which would sound like a huge detriment. But I'm not saying it's bad. It's still good, but I do believe the main priority for this movie was the animation because my God, the animation for this movie is absolutely breathtaking. It really seems like most of the budget for the film went to the animation. Like, I'm amazed that this film is almost 20 years old because it could be passed up. It could be passed up as a film that was released this decade. Some of the shots for a lot of the shots for this film would be perfect for wallpapers. That's how fantastic these backgrounds are. I think the lesson for this film is to keep moving forward, even if the relationship that you were holding on to didn't go in your way. There is more to life than the past, because the whole entire movie, Takagi is still reminiscences of the past, and he wants to go back to it, but he is never brave enough to send a clear message to Akari, and that he still thinks about here, even if they have gone their separate ways a long time ago. Another thing that I love about this film is the music. It is absolutely beautiful, done by Tenmon, who has worked with Shinkai before with Voices of a Distant Star and The Place Promised in Our Early Days. I believe that 5 centimeters perspective per second being just about an hour serves as a benefit, because if it was like a 90-minute film, I feel like the movie would have been a slog to get through. There is one character that was important to the story. Her name was Kanae, who fell in love with Takagi in the second chapter of the film. They met each other in high school, and Kanae wanted to confess to Takagi for so long, but she never got the courage to do it because Takagi never felt the same as she felt romantically, because he's still not over with Akari, despite the fact that she had already moved on. The voice acting for the film was very solid. Johnny on Bosch did most of the voice lines, and I feel he did a solid enough job. Yeah, and the thing, what really stood out, and another scene that stood out to me was the last chapter, chapter 3. We got there was a time skip in chapter 3, and I felt the way they're and I felt like how they were in life, how it was written was pretty effective, honestly, both Takagi and Akari. It was I'm not going to say much, but it was pretty heartbreaking for these characters, honestly. The fact that they don't receive letters from each other, and the fact that they don't talk anymore, it's just sad, honestly. Overall, 5 centimeters per second is a great film from Makoto Shinkai's filmography that you should not miss. And since I got the Blu-ray edition. I there I there was also a bonus feature, a pretty significant bonus feature included in 5 centimeter in the Blu-ray release of 5 centimeters per second, and that was the Voices of a Distant Star. Yeah, the whole entire movie is included in this package, which I didn't even know. And honestly, as the Voices of a Distant Star, it's basically Makoto Shinkai's first movie that he for his first creation, and honestly, you could definitely tell it was his first creation. It's very rough around the edges. It's very rough animation. The CG is not not up there along with the voice acting. It's very rough, but the philosophies of what Shinkai, the message and the philosophies what Shinkai is trying to send, it's still there in Voices of a Distant Star. It, I do feel that the story was fine. He tried to mix the love a love story with the mecha genre, which I don't think he has done since. But I do feel I do believe that I do want him to come back from the mecha genre because he has the potential to make to make a great mecha project. Honestly, so the Voices of a Distant Star. If you want to see what Shinkai did before he went into making movies, I would recommend checking out Voices of a Distant Star. But do warn, I will warn you that it is very rough. So yeah, uh, 5 centimeters per second and Voices of a Distant Star. They're pretty. They're qual- quality products, especially 5 centimeters per second. That's a great film. Pretty short, but trust me, it's not. You should not miss it. Honestly, the just for the animation alone, the animation is absolutely breathtaking. Honestly, like I'm shocked. I'm kind of shocked that it was looked over around 2007, but hey, it's now that Shinkai is kind of well known thanks to Your Name and now Suzume. So yeah, I do feel that more and more people are checking out his past projects, which myself included. I am planning to check out some of his past projects like the Garden of Words the and I've already checked out like like I said, Voices of a Distant Star. So yeah, if I were to rank Shinkai films, the ones that I've seen, I would from worst to best. The Voices of a Distant Star is the worst. What Weathering with You is is number four. Yeah, I've only seen five of Shinkai's projects. Uh, I think 5 centimeters per second would be number three. Uh, as for Suzume and Your Name, yeah, that's hard. That's hard to say which one I prefer. Maybe I would put Your Name number two along with maybe number because and along with Suzume being number one. It's interchangeable. Honestly, it's very interchangeable. The like one day I would put Your Name as the top, and the other day I would put Suzume as number one. But with that out of the way, 5 centimeters per second gets a B plus. Like this is a great film that I would recommend people to watch. It's a 1 hour film, so it's you would honestly you would honestly you should honestly the time duration should not be a worry because like I said it's an hour film, but do check this out just for the animation alone. For those of you that have seen 5 centimeters per second, did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And if you want to, you can also follow me on Instagram, Backlog, and Letterboxd down in the description down below. This is Namid Khan, and I'll see you next time.